Welcome back to Open for Business. Today we're at Quik Scripts. We're going to visit with David and see if he can fill a prescription for us. See you inside. We're at Quik Scripts with Dave. Dave, thanks for being with us today. What is Quik Scripts exactly? Tell us.
Well, Quik Scripts was my invention of a small pharmacy. It's a family-owned independent retail pharmacy. We're not a chain. We're independently owned, single-owned. We do not have any affiliation with any other pharmacies. I was a manager at a big chain pharmacy for many years, and I saw what it lacked, and I tried to bring it to my pharmacy now to make a change and provide a better service.
All right. Well, I hear from the public that this is where the magic happens. Can you fill us in on that a little bit?
Well, we're standing in the pharmacy here. This is the pharmacy where we do fill all the prescriptions for all the patients. We have a full-service pharmacy. Anytime a patient brings in their prescription, we fill it right on the spot. Usually within 20 minutes, that's what we pride ourselves on, is a short wait and great service. We also try to make sure that the patient also saves the most money they possibly can. As the owner of the pharmacy, I like to make sure that that the patient's getting the best deal for their money.
Okay, and so you take all insurance, just like a major retail, right?
Right. Just like a big chain pharmacy, as I came up through the ranks in those pharmacies, and then ended up as the manager of the year in 2010, I knew what it took to make the small pharmacy just as competitive as the big pharmacy. So we do take all insurances, and we also honor secondary coupons, and our over-the-counter prices are lower than anybody else's because we work with the same vendors and drug companies that the big people work with. So we're just as competitive.
Okay, so if a patient came in and they wanted to talk about the drugs and about the interactions of the drugs and other educational things that you would normally see printed on one of those sheets of paper that we get with our prescriptions, are you able to talk to the patients and really just tell them about those things?
Actually, yeah, because I have an area in my pharmacy, in the front of the pharmacy, which we'll see later, where I have 2 chairs set up. And that's normally where I sit for mostly all day. I sit in the front of the pharmacy where people can access me all day long. They come in, the first thing they see is me.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
mean, they sit down in those 2 chairs, even if they're friends or patients, they go to those 2 chairs, and whatever they need to talk about, I always have my computer right in front of me. So if we need to access the internet, access any information about their drugs, access diet information or anything, we can, discuss education on the prescriptions before they leave.
Okay, now what about if a patient can't come in? I know that you do deliveries. Can you tell us about that?
Well, one of the nicknames that we have about our delivery service is like the Jimmy John's pharmacy, because when you go to the doctor's office, you might be pressed for time. You might have to go to work. You might be taking your mom to the hospital or to the doctor, and then you might have to drop her off, and any other situation that might occur. When your doctor calls in the prescription, we bring it right to your house within about 20 to 30 minutes usually.
Boy, that's really great. Now, tell us about the stock that you keep here at the store. I mean, can we expect to get things filled, or is this going to be less accessible in terms of selection and quantity compared to a retailer?
Well, I set out, again, as a pharmacy manager, I know of the customer's needs. Also, being from Lansing, the Lansing pharmacy industry, I know what the customers in Lansing use. A lot of my customers came from my pharmacy, which I was a manager of prior. So I know what they're already on. My tech always tells me, I don't know how you remember every drug that they are on. It's just something that I just do. As a pharmacist, I know what medications every patient's on. One of the other nice things about our services is that our vendor is in Burr Ridge, Illinois. So if I need a prescription drug that I do not have, I can have it here within about 2 hours, no later than next day.
All right, and then the other thing is, as I just listened to you speak, I realized you have a lot of expertise and you have a lot of years of experience. So this really plays into then the quality that you can offer to your clients.
Well, that's true too. I have 13 years of retail pharmacy experience. I also work for the community hospital as well as the Franciscan Physicians Alliance Group. So I've been in. I have hospital experience. I have retail experience, and then I was an instructor at Prairie State for pharmacy technician and courses, as well as now I work for the Veterans Affairs Administration Clinic, and that I do from home.
All right,
So
so
I
we
have
can be really satisfied to know that we have a person of quality, experience, and excellence helping us get what we need here at the pharmacy. Hey, if I needed a prescription filled, could you do that for me?
Sure.
Right now?
I definitely can.
Great, let's go do that.
All right, sounds good. Okay, this is step one of filling the prescription. So what I do is I get the label from the printer, and then I come back to the pharmacy and I just compare the drug to the drug that we're going to be needing from the shelf. And here it is. So this is our vitamin today, and this patient has a count of 30. So what I will do is put the drugs in the tray and then just count out 30.
This is really neat because most of the time people don't see this part of the process.
Right, that's right. Well, the thing is that when you in a pharmacy, no one's allowed in a pharmacy except for the pharmacist or the technician. Put that back on the shelf, and then we'll grab a vial from right over here. And these are the same vials that every pharmacy uses. Okay, and now the medication is counted out. So what we do then is we just take the label from the original label that come from the printer and just put that on the bottle. Just put a piece of tape over it just to make it a little seal so that if the patient's hands are wet, there won't be any problems with the label, and it's all ready to go.
That was really quick.
Wasn't it?
I didn't time you, but it just seemed like just a few minutes.
Was it more than 20?
Oh, no, definitely not.
I didn't think so.
No, you kept your word.
All right,
Less
thanks.
than 20 minutes, it's
Thank
great.
you. I appreciate it. All right, now we can show you the front if you'd like to see our waiting room.
Okay. Well, we've been in the back where the magic is happening in the pharmacy, and now we've come up front, and this is where some more magic happens with the customers. And we're here with Ellen. Ellen, tell us what you do up here because you get some magic happening with people that walk in the door every day.
We do. I do a little bit of everything around here. I do the billing in the morning. I help the customers. I answer the phones. I fill the prescriptions. Just a little bit of everything.
Okay, and
nice.
I know that when I've come in, for example, to fill my own prescriptions, that you've always greeted me, and you're always so kind and fun, and we have a good conversation, and normally by the time our conversation is finished, my prescription is also done and ready to go.
That's
So
true.
that's neat, but do you ever get out from behind the counter here and get to visit with the clients and the customers in the waiting area?
I do. A lot of times we get new customers coming in, and we really like to get to know them and get a good feeling for them, and we like to get to know their family and treat them like family. Since it is a family business, we like to kind of pay that forward with our customers and sit down and really get to know them.
That's great because the waiting area seems so inviting, and it seems like a place where the community actually can come and gather, and people can have good conversation and not feel rushed, even though their prescription is ready really, really quickly. I'll bet they don't always leave right away either.
They don't. They like to sit around and visit. A lot of times we come in and we find out there's people we know in common. We have mutual friends. People remember other people from other places. We actually a lot of times have customers come in while another customer's leaving and they know that person, and it's really nice. It's like a small town mentality. We're right here on the strip, so
That's great.
It's
It's all about
perfect.
those connections
It
and
is.
relationships, right?
it is.
That's great. Well, thanks a lot.
Oh, you're
I
welcome,
appreciate it.
Renee. Thanks for having me.
Dave, it's been so nice to visit at Quik Scripts and see the pharmacy in the front area, visit with Ellen. Just everything here really is just like magic. It's a lot of good service, quality service, excellence. If there's one final word you could leave with us today about Quik Scripts and just about the nature of everything that happens here, what would you say?
Well, I would say if you want cookies, candy, or soda, you can go to our competition. But if you want your prescription done in a timely manner, save money, and friendly service, come into Quik Scripts.
All right, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
We're here at Quik Scripts, and they're waiting for you. They're waiting to serve you with excellence and quality, and in a short period of time. They're open for business. I'm Renee Hale, and I'll see you next time.